For those of you that are either in a relationship or have ever been in a relationship, know sometimes you feel you know your partner like the back of your hand, and other times you don't know who the hell they are. And I believe that can be in a really good way or not. This next story is going to blow you out of the water, leaving Tony, the man involved, only to think that there's some glitch in the matrix, alternate reality switch up, or something in a simulation due to his circumstances. Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. This mind-blowing episode is brought to you by your likes. Yes, each and every like is very important to us, guys. So if you can just click that button, not only does it show YouTube that you like content of this manner, but it supports our small little channel. And we always love who's supporting us from the very beginning. We never forget you. In fact, thank you, subscription family, to all who have subscribed. And if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you so you don't miss the next mind-blowing episode. And sharing is beyond phenomenal. For all those involved, including the consciousness of the person you're expanding. So diving right in, the story is from Reddit about Jenna and Tony. Tony has written in about him and Jenna had been dating for years. They felt they knew there was everything to know about each other. During COVID lockdown, okay, he started noticing small changes in Jenna at first, which he feels all glitches start with. And then changes became pretty prominent. For one, Jenna is actually a huge coffee connoisseur and actually would regularly criticize Tony for putting any sort of sugar in his coffee. So she was very adamant about never putting sugar in her coffee and that no one should ever put sugar in their coffee because it ruins the taste of coffee. He can't tell you how many times he was caught putting sugar in his coffee, and Jenna would flip out because it's just so against what she loved about coffee. Well, during the lockdown, he walked in on her putting spoonfuls of sugar in her coffee. And when he asked her about it, she literally looked at him like she had two heads and said she's always put spoonfuls of sugar into her coffee every time she's made coffee. He had no idea what he was dealing with, okay? Then it got increasingly weirder. She would think things were completely different about him, okay? Then one day, he was on his laptop. He was a PhD student this whole time, by the way. And she asked, hey, how's Larry doing? And this is after he noticed her everyday habits were completely different, like her likes and dislikes switched and everything. So he says to her, who's Larry? And she was like, you know Larry, you talk about him all the time and you work with him. And this argument went on for an hour until finally she says, we both work for him at the same company because we work at the same company. Tony doesn't even work for a company and never has. He's been a PhD student this whole time and never once, like, thank God for him, had to work. But she also all of a sudden didn't have the same job that he remembers. And he definitely didn't have the job that she thinks that he had, let alone any job for that matter. So this actually had her quite upset. And he is just beside himself. And he can't help but wonder at this point, oh my God, was there some sort of reality glitch, simulation glitch, matrix glitch, timeline switch, something where somebody switched out? And if that's the case, is it him that switched out and or is it her? I don't know, Tommy. To me, this just sounds like a regular day with you and I, to be honest. But what do you think about this? Isn't this crazy?
This is a little nuts. It's like I expected it to end with like So anyway, there was a gas leak in the building, and that's what that was. They were hallucinating all kinds of nonsense. But it's like, did they figure? Are they still together? Is there any news on these guys?
You know, I was wondering the same thing. Um, I don't know about that just yet. But this is like the Mandela effect to its finest, except very individual. Whereas the Mandela effect is a collective remembering of how it was. So there'd be like a Jenna team and a Tony team, and they'd both be like from different universes. That's kind of how the Mandela effect works in terms of memories and sets of memories. So there'd be like a whole half the world thinking the way Jenna is, that it's always been that way, and a whole half the world thinking the way Tommy is. Tony is, sorry. Freudian slip. I literally like me and coworker Tommy go through this on the daily show. But it might just be because he does the night shift and his memory. Mandela effect all the way.
Ours is a little more aggressive, a little more language in our conversations. It's like, oh, he's a this, and I'm like, she's a that.
A little more theatrical. A little more theatrical. A little more hilarious. Also, if we always said if we were ever taped, not on YouTube, if we had a platform for real people, we'd be amazing. We'd be actually funny. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think of this?
I think it's kind of nuts, but like, I'm kind of wondering, did they live in a building? Did they live in a house? Do you know?
No, I think an apartment. For some reason, an apartment is coming to mind. I don't know. Maybe they're just modeling it after us now. I don't know.
Because I was going to say, like, if this is happening to them and if it's in an apartment, maybe it's happening to other people in that same area. Because why would it happen in such a small little, like, maybe there's like and people are just not talking about it. And it's happening to a bunch of different couples at the same exact time.
That's interesting. I never counted in like time factoring into this at all, like space factoring into this at all. I could counter time factoring in because I feel like who knows what's going on with the Hadron Collider at the time, or where we are in our consciousness to be able to receive this, or even where we are in our technological revolution to be able to share such stories. But space I never considered, unless it has to do with some sort of physical either chemical plant around them or something like that would at all be causing this. But that's interesting to put in our bag of wonders. I still don't know if space. My intuition says space does not counter into this, but the timing might. So, but interesting to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always thought like that the story that you put out with the tinsel, like all of a sudden our neighbors has like a ton of tinsel in their apartment, or like something else, and they're like, what is this? What is happening? Where is this all coming from? Who's throwing a party in my apartment? Some old lady just like wakes up with tinsel all over her face, and she's like, not again.
Yes. Or the time that Tommy was walking my dog Muffin, who's a little black floppy dog. In fact, she's right here. You probably can't see her. Anyway, and somebody said she looks like the copper tone dog. And I laughed thinking, that dog is brown. Well, I said, if I look up and this dog is black, I think I discovered another Mandela effect. Guys, leave in a comment. Do you remember the copper tone dog on the, pulling the baby's diaper? If you remember this at all, what color do you remember that dog being? I remember brown. All of a sudden now it's black, just like my dog.
Didn't I say it was white? I thought it was white.
Oh, no, I don't remember ever white. You guys, tell us what you remember. But it'd be interesting if, like you said, all of a sudden that dog is black and my dog's brown. You know what? For years, I really thought my dog was brown. It took me a while to realize my dog was black. I swear, I think we're coming. The theory is we're shifting in and out of universes all the time, and it is my belief that our consciousness is at a place of possibly being aware enough to notice it. is one thing that at least I've come up with. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, things are getting a little, because all these stories are coming out left and right. It's not just, here or there or whatever. It's happening a lot. So I'm starting to wonder, it's like, what's happening here? Is it the Hadron Collider, like you said? Is it maybe all the sunbursts that are going on? Is it something else because all these billionaires are like, I'm going to go ahead and do something crazy that I thought about? So who knows what the hell's happening, but these stories are popping up left and right.
I love it. My intuition says that we're just at a level of consciousness to be able to, number one, share the stories with one another before number one really, is noticing it and allowing such a thing in to our reality. Just like Donald Hoffman says, reality, doesn't really need time and space, and it's really what we're perceiving. And to be honest, this whole time we've been perceiving whatever helps us survive. That's what scientific studies are about. And at this point, I feel in our evolution, we are ready to let a little more in for the evolution of us, because we've gotten survival pretty much down. So that's why we're ready to evolve past that. And that's why we're letting this more information kind of in as we're, readying up for it. And of course, the collective, AKA Mandela Effect. So yeah, but I love to hear your theories on this. I love, Tommy, that you are, coming up with theories yourself. I love these stories. We're going to keep them coming for you. If we know any story is proven to not be true, we either won't post it, or if we already posted it, we will be telling you, disclosing the fact that it's not true once we find out, for the sake of the integrity of the journalism on this channel, and probably getting in a lot of trouble for doing so.
I just hope that if it happens to me, I don't realize it. And because I don't know if I'm going through a dimension where it's like, all of a sudden it's like my roommate's like, hey, Gorgablon, did you drink the rest of the milk? He's like, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What's that?
That's exactly it. They're getting a little more extreme to us. Like, maybe they're not as extreme as you're saying, but just yet. But they're getting a little extreme to us, to the point of Tony's point of view, which is why there's people on Reddit disclosing this, publishing it, and sharing it, because they're like, what the is going on? And I think it's good they're sharing it so people don't feel alone in going through it and realizing, oh my God, something's really going on here.
Yeah. Hopefully they can lock it down and be like, yeah, sorry guys, this is actually happening a lot. Like some scientists are like, we messed around with some space-time stuff, and we'll figure it out. Sorry.
See, I don't think they'd ever say it until they figure it out. And even then, I don't think they'd say it. But yeah, that would be great.
We've always had mouths on the back of our heads. What are you talking about? Like,
and if it's happening on a global level, would they know?
I don't know. That's true. It's like, how do we? I guess, yeah, that'd be weird. Like, who would actually notice stuff? Otherwise, it would just keep morphing into this, and people would just keep coming up with stories, and there would be nobody. I guess they can figure out that it's happening, but they can't figure out what's the cause or how to stop it.
Well, okay, what if these scientists are closed-minded because they're just like material-based results, right? But the thing is, they go into a universe. They say it actually did switch universes, right? But in that universe, they're in a universe that's under the impression that they didn't do that. How would they know?
Yeah, but there's got to be one guy, because it's like there are people that have noticed this, obviously. So there's going to be someone that notices it and notices that it's not true.
It's us. But like you said, if there's one guy, they're just going to be like, oh, you've been fun to live with, and kill him. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've been doing stuff.
You're obviously a liar and some form of traitor. So okay.
I mean, we shouldn't joke about it because, you know, I feel bad that that's definitely happening. Thank God we're aware on this channel that there is no death. They're just waking up in a different reality. I mean, well, they're really waking up in heaven or a different reality.
We don't know.
Also going into another story, by the way. Go ahead.
We might go into a dimension that they're like, the purge is the thing. So it's like, oh, it's purge day. And I'm like, what? What day?
What? Oh God. I don't know what is happening. What are you saying?
You seen the movie The Purge?
I don't know. I think my cousin was like terrified of that. All right, we'll talk after the show. But guys, speaking of, if you passed on or think you passed on and or may have passed on and yet you're just continuing to live life like as if you just woke up in the reality where you didn't pass on. Okay.
Yeah, like and subscribe if you've passed on and came back to.
Not getting into that. Thank you for the reminder for them. Thank you. But guys, what I just said, we actually do have a video on and it's coming out soon. So I guess do follow Tommy's advice if you can, so you could see that video, you know, because that in itself is mind-blowing as well.
Yes.
Tommy, are you done bossing our audience around?
Yeah, sorry guys.
All right. In the meantime, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And sharing is phenomenal. And you didn't catch that, Tommy? All right, it's fine. Anyway, if anybody wants to support our small little channel, it would be absolutely amazing. Okay. You don't know how much it does to me if and when that miraculous little donation happens. It just enlivens me from the inside out so I can continue doing you know, and providing a platform for all expanding minds and continue giving you guys reports. So I know someone out there is listening and like caring, even when we're obviously not perfect. And if anybody needs help in terms of experiencing these alternate realities, don't forget that I am a certified life coach, and not just any life coach. I specialize in spiritual intuition readings, manifestation, as well as hybrids of both of them, and much more, basically whatever your soul needs. So I happen to have raving reviews, which I would never say, but in case you feel pulled or need help at all, oh, I know, I have a specialty in alternate realities, actually, because I connect to higher source, and it guides me to what you need, your soul specifically, personally needs to know. So either way, my contact information, I am still giving out personal sessions. I'm still available for that. So the contact information is in the description box. And either way, thank you guys so much for coming. We like you so much. We're so appreciative of you. Thank you so much for being part of our family. And Tommy, you have anything more to say? I feel like I cut you off.
No. You got everything perfect. I would like to say, yes, our community is small at the moment, but with all of you guys coming in, joining us, little by little, get bigger and bigger. I want to get to the point where I'm wearing a tuxedo, a top hat, and a monocle. That would be amazing.
And he actually says he's the embodiment of the Monopoly guy, and that's the reality we're now dealing with.
Yes. And I will just be the most obnoxious person in the world. And I really can't wait for that day. But thank you all for that, are signed up now. And we appreciate everything that you do for us. And we hope that you appreciate everything we bring to you guys.
Yes. And then he'll switch to the Pringles guy and say it's always been like that. Yes, we're experiencing shifting in realities here all the time as well. Please leave in comments. What do you feel about the story? Has this kind of stuff happened to you? Please, this is the platform to share and not be judged. Okay, I created this so minds feel free to expand, souls can run free, and it's your own personal playground as well as adult Disneyland so that we can continue to evolve as a collective. All right, guys, love you so much. Thank you so much for coming, and see you next time.
Bye, guys.